Hey everybody, wanted to talk to you about this economic collapse that they're talking about. And the reason I'm doing that, I'm not fear mongering, but this is a prepper channel. Even though I'm in the studio and you see this stuff from my studio business, this is still a prepper channel. I don't have my other room available right now, so I'm doing it in here. So with that said, a prepper channel. I'm going to address topics that are sometimes either political or world news or whatever, if it relates to prepping in any way. Clearly, an economic collapse does. Now, I'm not fear mongering, I'm just addressing the subject. So, Gerald Celente, he's a trends forecaster. Very, very good. The guy has been proven correct on the things he has said time and time and time again. Very trustworthy, very knowledgeable. Okay. Peter Schiff is also very knowledgeable. I'm just using those two guys as an example. There's many people that I listen to. I don't get my news from just one person or accept what one person says. However, these guys are extremely well respected. They know what they're talking about. Okay, so economic collapse. What they're saying is it's going to be the worst thing since the Great Depression. Worse than, the Great Depression. It's supposed to be very, very bad. However, they're projecting, forecasting that this is probably going to take place at the end of 2019 to the beginning in the middle, somewhere in that area of 2020. Okay? So, with that said, there's a few things that we need to address. First of all, if it's going to give us another year to year and a half, that's in our advantage. That's to our advantage. But here's some things you need to know. They're saying that the most important thing you can do is get out of debt because the interest rate is going to skyrocket. They're telling people, if you have a house mortgage and you can pay it off, pay it off. If you can get out from underneath that mortgage, get out from underneath it. If you have an automobile loan that you're making payments on and you can get out from underneath that or pay it off, do so quickly. Credit card debt, get out from underneath it or get it paid off quickly. Some of those things are feasible for some people, some of them are not. But that's what they're forecasting. That's what they're encouraging people to do. It's not forecasting, That's what they're encouraging people to do because it is going to be bad. I'll let you know, I have every intention of trying to get out from underneath our car payment. We just had to purchase a new vehicle. We chose to purchase a new vehicle about 6 or 8 months ago. Bad deal. It was a year old when we bought it, but it's new to us and it's on a loan. My goal is to get the loan paid off very quickly or to get out from debt underneath it, sell it, buy a used vehicle. I have every intention of doing that. We're fortunate. I've already paid off our home. It's paid off. It's owned. Nobody can take it unless we don't pay our property taxes. So our home isn't a problem, our mortgage, but our vehicle could be. Very well could be. Now, so that's what they're saying. Credit card, home, mortgage, vehicle. If you can do that, they're really encouraging people to do that. Now, the prepper portion of all of this. If things are going to be as bad as they say they are, you need to have food and water, shelter, possibly a little bit of medical supplies, things like that, put aside for when this takes place. We don't know how ugly this is going to get. They are saying people will riot. Okay? That could get bad. People that cannot get food are going to go somewhere they can. That's just the way it's going to play out. That's what they're saying. So, you need to have things put away. Some people will say, I can't afford to do that. Okay, I understand that. We really can't either, but we're going to do it anyway, even if that means we choke up on some other things, okay? When you go grocery shopping, if you can afford, a couple extra canned goods or a couple extra or one extra of a few of the items that you use on a regular basis, do it and start putting food aside and don't touch it. Remember, canned goods are already pre-cooked. You can eat them directly out of the can. They always put a date, that sell by date. Okay? I'm telling you, where canned goods are concerned, that isn't really an issue. Canned goods can last 10, 20, 30 years. Okay? They've proven that. They have World War II canned goods that are still fine. I'm kind of a 5-year guy myself, but that's just throwing that out there. So things that are in cans, you don't have to cook. You might want to heat up, but you don't have to cook them. They're already ready to go. But put away groceries as you can. Stockpile them. Every time you go grocery shopping, buy a little extra, even if it's just a few items. Don't look at the overall picture of prepping, because when people do that, they freak out, they freeze, and they don't do anything. One bite at a time. Just start putting a little bit of food aside every time you go shopping. Water. We can only go 3 days without water. Put water aside. Put it aside. Okay? Every time you finish with a milk jug, fill it with water. Whatever you use, whether it's RO, tap water, purified water, fill it, date it. You get a Sharpie, date it, put it aside. Keep it in a cool, dark area so the sunlight and stuff's not getting to it. It'll be fine. But date it. If you can afford to buy like antibiotic cream and, Band-Aids, small, minor first aid supplies, do that. If you can afford to purchase a medical kit, do that, okay? Everybody's in a different place, okay? Everybody is. I get a lot of people chewing me out sometimes. I can't afford that. I can't afford this. Well, I'm sorry. You're not everybody, but there are people that can, and they're looking for advice. That's all I'm doing, is giving you advice, an opinion of what you should do, okay? Now, aside from that, if you can swing it, I said this the other day, I realize, and boy, have I heard about it from a couple people, especially this one Christian gal's just hammering me because how terrible it is of me to consider buying silver and gold. Anyway, if you can afford silver and gold, silver is very inexpensive. One guy chewed me out because I said it's $15. I know that's the spot price. I was just throwing out a ballpark price, okay? It's under $20 for a piece of silver. If you can afford to purchase silver or gold, do so as you can afford to and put it aside for barter. You can't eat it, but eventually, when things smooth out a little bit, but the economy's still crap, people will be willing to barter. If they need to, they'll be willing to barter. And silver and gold is used and has been used in barter in every economy ever. Okay? People use it for bartering. So, if you can afford to do that, I would strongly suggest you do that. And just put it aside and don't touch it. Food, water, shelter. Get out from under debt if you can. Start now. If these guys are correct, you've got about 1.5 years to do that. Start now and start putting things away and start prepping. For you that can receive this message and you understand and you're not ready to argue with everything I have to share, I would strongly suggest and encourage you to, I'm just saying because you're on my channel right now, look at the subscriptions that I recommend on the side, the prepper channels and so forth that I recommend on the side of my page. Those guys are very, very knowledgeable and very helpful with the information they can offer you. Everything from security to guns to, food, your vehicle, all kinds of things. Start looking into preparing for things to get bad, okay? You might want to look into some home security stuff if you can. They're talking about riots very possibly taking place, okay? People going from house to house, if things get really, really bad, looking for what they need. If you had a child or a baby and they're crying because they haven't had food or water for several days, you're going to do as a parent what it takes to get that child water. People will become very dangerous when they feel that their child's life is at stake. Keep these things in mind. You might want to look into some security issues for your house. Maybe some wireless security cams you can put on the eaves of your house or up on a light pole or something on your property if you have that. Different things. Start looking into some home security items that are your responsibility to take care of. In other words, okay, like I have security cameras. I like them because if someone is to come into this studio, I've got cameras in here. If they go outside of our house, I have cameras there. What I like about these cameras is they're on all the time. If someone looks up and sees a camera and goes up and, I'm going to snip the wire, boom, it's a little late. You know why? Because everything they've already done and their face and everything is already on the internet. It's already on my hard drive in the internet, in the cloud on the internet, excuse me. And I can access that from my phone from anywhere globally, but anywhere in the country. And I do often. So I like that kind of system. But if you can't afford something like that, then you might just want to think about getting some inexpensive cameras to put on your house that go to a physical unit in your home. And it doesn't go to the internet, but at least it goes to a physical hard drive. And it gives you some security. You can see what's going on outside of your house. If you hear things at night, if lights come on, I'd make it to where you guys can have some security lights that will pop on when someone starts walking around your house. Things like that. I'm not encouraging everyone to be a prepper. I do believe it's a wise thing to do and a wise thing to be. Even though a lot of people think preppers only prep for the end of the world, it's Armageddon, it's going to be, nuclear war or whatever. I don't prep for that. I prep for whatever comes down the pike, okay? You should try to focus, if you do get into prepping, start in one area, if whatever you think is the most important area, and prep for that thing. Whether you think it's nuclear, biological, or you think it's financial collapse, or you think that it's, whatever, hurricane or whatever. What I do is I put away on a regular basis because I know that stuff like a financial collapse, or I live in Tornado Alley. We have tornadoes around us all the time. I've been here for 20 years. There's always tornadoes around us. Fortunately, we've never been hit by a tornado. But tornadoes are there. And I've seen people, and you can watch all the videos you want on YouTube, on tornadoes where people have lost everything. Cities have been devastated, and they've been without for a long period of time. Some of those people, and I've watched them, were preppers. Some of those people's basements were fine. Their house was gone, but their basements were fine, and they were safe because they were in them, and they have supplies coming out their ears in their basements of food and water, clothing, medical supplies. That's why you prep. We're not prepping for the end of the world. We're not a bunch of conspiracy theorists that just think everything's evil and out to get us. That's just foolishness. All right, I'm rambling. Sorry. I want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you. I am blown away about the amount of subscribers I've gotten in the last 3 days. I could have never thought that would have happened. Never. I said I thought I was going to lose subscribers over making a political video. And in fact, I did. I started out with 98 subscribers. I went down to 90 in just a matter of hours. And then now I'm at over 600, I believe. So, that's been really awesome. And so all of you who have subscribed, thank you. And to you who have commented to me, whether it's been in criticism, critique, in a nice way, or angry, or just nice things to say, I still appreciate it. I appreciate the conversation, and people need to talk and be able to vent and say what they have on their mind, and you are more than welcome to do that, so long as it's clean. If you cuss or something, I'll just delete your comment. But if you're not cussing and you're polite, it's where it'll stay. And I appreciate all your comments. I have thoroughly enjoyed reading what you folks have had to say for the last couple days. And it's just been wonderful. So thank you. Again, you know the routine. If you like the channel, please tell your friends. If you like it, please subscribe. Tap the notification bell so that you know when a new video comes out. And as soon as one does, you'll know. And that will do it for me. I really appreciate all the interaction for the last couple of days, people. Thank you very much. God bless you guys, and we'll talk to you next time I make a video. Bye.